Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Keisha, and this is
Takesha.
I said, I'm thinking about that. Speak boldly and connect colorfully. We really, really do connect colorfully.
What does that mean to you, colorfully?
In like before we started today, how I told you was something I did, and you was like, I did the same thing without knowing because we haven't spoken or really text in days. So for me to say that and for you to be like, yeah, me too, I'm like, and that was just so random that I feel like, we really, really connect. That's one example of connect colorfully, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Does it,
yes.
that seem the same to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obviously speak boldly is because we say whatever,
Yeah, I'm trying not to speak boldly.
Why?
Because I feel like I overshare. Welcome to our girl chat. I feel like I overshare all the time.
Wait, and when you say overshare, are you talking about when you talking about like mental struggles
Just everything?
Or just, do you?
Yeah, I feel.
You don't think I overshare? Because I feel like I overshare. Then I overshare then the same too.
I feel like I am way too much of an open book. Like, do I have anything that's private? I really feel like that. Like, what's private?
But does it make you feel? I don't want to use the word better, but kind of freeing to share things because obviously be things that's like
I
on your
share
heart.
because it be on my heart, and then I know that a lot of people live their life in secret.
Absolutely.
But I want to learn how to live my life in secret because why I got to be the poster child?
Well, not secret. I think that discernment, which you have, because I don't think you overshare to the point where you're an open book for what's needed for others to be helped, if that makes sense. But you don't overshare. Maybe it's because it's me and I know you. I don't believe you overshare too much where it's like everybody know everything about you. You think that?
Yes, I don't feel like anything is a secret. Everybody know I got a celebrity crush. Everybody know I got. If they listen closely, they know.
No, they don't.
They know symbolism.
We don't give any clues about who that celebrity crush is.
They know I got mental health struggles. They know I got a son. Like,
wait, what's
they
funny
know
is,
what I do for a living. Like, damn.
All of that they know about me too. Well, they don't know my celebrity crush because you just found out my celebrity crush.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm open book.
Wait a minute. Not only did you just find out, my sister just found out, and both of y'all reaction was the same. Like, what? Like, well, yeah. But no, the same things that you're saying that people know about you, they know about me. They do. They know what I do for work. They know what I got children. They know I've been married and divorced for a couple of times.
I don't know. I just feel like I need a private life.
Well,
I even know I get meal prep. Like literally, that I don't like to clean. Like I install everything out here.
Yeah, well, Takesha, that's
damn.
That's what we created it for, though. It was
I don't know if I want to be
not to tell our business.
Blow up everything that's happening in my life on the podcast. Like, geez.
Well, how many people do you believe have been helped in some way from hearing your stuff?
One.
No, more than that.
I really believe one person.
That you know of. A person you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got people that I know that listen to it and they don't say anything about me. They like, I really, really related to. I mean, one even called me about, I need to make an appointment with you. I told you, with you. And I was like, really? I was shocked. Like, oh, not shocked because I know you're good, but I just didn't know that. I'm like, wow. So I think that you are a light for people, even when you going through your darkness.
You know what? I feel like I'm always the darkness that's the light for everybody else.
Yeah, I get it. And it's not always a good feeling. That's probably why you like,
That's probably why
I
I
need to
feel
stop.
like
Yeah,
this.
like
Yeah,
I
and
need to
probably
stop.
why I feel like I need some private, because I feel like maybe the private might be some good things.
Child, like I said,
I don't really know, but it's just
they know the same
like,
things about me.
I know that I am just exhausted from being the poster child
For
of
everything,
pain.
for
Yes.
everything.
Like,
Hey, pain is real. Pain is absolutely real. I think when I did text you a couple days ago or something, and I told you I got that random book who I still don't know who sent it to me. I'm like, I got this random book in the mail. Like, did you send it? Because I know it would have been 3 people. I asked for 3, and everybody was like, no. But when I looked at the title of it, and I was like, maybe it's somebody who see through my not showing pain. That's like, I'm about to send her this book, and I'm like, somebody is seeing through me. But pain is real. Pain is absolutely real. So you get tired of showing it, but it's real, and everybody go through it. I don't care how perfect somebody think or portray their life to be. We all got some type of pain. So yeah, you ain't the poster child for it.
I feel like I am. I feel like that's my life, honestly. Like, I'm ready to cross over.
You said that before.
Yeah.
You said that before.
Because
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
You definitely said that before. Yeah. Girl.
Like, I never want to be like, well, what else you got?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna show you. Drop.
Well, every message that I be listening to, not every, but most of them, most of the people who go through as much as you go through, or just go through a lot, are people that is his strongest soldier. Because think about the people who just seem like they just live in hunky dory, and and they ain't going through. They probably don't, as deep as the spiritual life is in a relationship. They just going about their merry way.
I said today that I wanted to learn how to live more in the material world, because I feel like I have lost myself in spirituality to a certain degree, that I need more balance.
We've talked about this.
And I don't really know how
to have balance anymore, because you previously had it before, but now you don't feel like you have balance.
I don't feel like I have balance. And then I think now being able to put a name with my mental struggles, with now knowing that the PMDD is a real thing. So it's just like, realistically, I get 2 good weeks out of a month where I'm not spiraling, battling even harder. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, I really don't know how to balance to have a healthy lifestyle.
And when you say material world, because we've had fun and done things or whatever, what is it materially?
So I want to know what it's like to watch a movie and not channel a message from the movie.
Yeah.
Or to not always, I don't really want to use the word decode, but to not always hear some underlying message, to just be able to do something and just breathe and enjoy it, and not have 50 other thousand thoughts that I need to write down, journal, want to come back to, and all of that other stuff. Like, I miss those days.
You ain't had them in a long time.
I haven't had them in a very long time, and I miss that.
I haven't had them just because I don't watch any movies. I don't.
So even when I'm silent,
yeah, I get it.
It's louder.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I try to put the movie off for the distraction.
For the distraction, yeah. I don't be trying to have a distraction. So it's opposite. I be like, I don't want no distraction because I'm distracted enough. So it's opposite where I feel like I am halfway into the material world and the other half is, so when I get into this, I don't want to get too much into it. So I shut things off so I don't have the distractions. So yeah, because I don't know when last time I have watched TV or listened to the radio or because I watch the movie and be all in the movie like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I get off.
I done got 13 messages in one sentence.
Girl,
I done paid attention to the color clothes that they didn't use. Like the sounds in the background.
Yeah.
Like I know, and it's stuff when we were riding the other day, I was in the car and I was just like, oh, there go, you know, and she was just like, you notice everything. And I was like, I promise you, it's not like I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm looking for it. It just, something just triggers. And I'm like, up, boom. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how to.
Girl, I almost text you the other day.
Slow that down.
Yeah, I almost text you the other day because I got some bird poop on my car. Like 2 days after I got it. And I was like, this me. Let me call. And I was like, no. I'm like, let me not bother her about this. Like what is this? But yeah, I get it. You want to live a little more balanced life, and that's perfectly fine too. To do that, to have a.
Could you get Jesus on the main line so he can know that that's fine? Okay.
What's funny is I was having a conversation this morning with someone about this balance thing in another way, because we was talking about church and pastors, and we know a lot of pastors that live a totally different life from what you know. So they were like, they don't want a pastor that drink, and I was like, is something wrong with that? And it was like, I don't want that. I don't want you to be, because I always say, I don't want you to be something behind closed doors that you're not. But if you teach it to your people, not teach them to drink, but teach it in a way that this is what's wrong with drinking. It's wrong to get drunk. It's wrong to be outside of who you are supposed to be. I don't see anything wrong with them doing it. I don't like when they're having a whole another relationship on the side, a whole nother, you know, you gotta go hang out in secret bars and stuff like that. But if you're a person that's socially with your wife or a group of friends or whatever, I don't think anything is wrong with that, because I feel like and I think their point was, well, if they can't do it out in front of their people, I'm like, I don't know. You know, I want them to have balance. I want someone that's going to have balance. I feel like God wants us to have a balanced life. And that doesn't mean, and I could be wrong, for the super saints.
Yes, this is
what I believe. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I believe that God, from me reading it, from my understanding, I believe he wants us to have balance, and through that balance still serve him, if that makes sense. So
I think a lot of times we look at leaders or mentors or whatever, I think people put different, what do I want to say, like responsibilities or
like a higher
standard on them. Yeah, so because it's just like going to a therapist, assuming that your therapist got their life together when your therapist is in therapy too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just like their issues aren't yours. They don't need to have their life together to help you.
Yeah, that part. That makes sense. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times we place standards on people of
put them on
authority.
a pedestal.
Yeah.
So we put them on a pedestal where they should be,
shouldn't do this, and this. But if we do it, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. But we don't expect them to have this certain lifestyle or do these certain things.
The expectation, I want the expectation to be removed that they should not, that they're not Jesus, they're not God, they're not, you know what I'm saying? They flesh like us. Now, just like you can speak to people and teach them or guide them or whatever, and you ain't perfect. I want the same guidance from my mentor, my leader, or whatever, knowing that, hey, I'm not perfect, but God got me. I got this word for you. I don't want them to be like a cheater. I want you to still be. When I say you're not perfect, I ain't saying it's okay to do. You
mean like just to be just?
Yes.
You know, like we know the basics of, you know, the rights and the wrong, to be just and live a righteous life, not where you are, you know, we know fidelity
is like the main one people think is super wrong. Okay. And then if you're a person who just don't have good character, if you out here just, wilding or whatever, no, but I want you to have a balanced life and be able to give good guidance.
Yeah, because I've always thought about that, just like I shared with you earlier. I had someone mention something to me that I was hesitant to speak on because it's something that I haven't necessarily experienced.
Yeah.
But I knew what the word was for her.
Yeah.
But because I haven't experienced it, I'm like, I tread lightly with the words that I give.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this on that subject though. Like I think that if you are invited into, because you probably was invited to give guidance, because you and I have talked about that or whatever before, that same subject, and you've given good guidance. Does it depend to you on who it is?
I don't know if it necessarily depends on who it is. I think if anything, like if I am, you know, being honest and transparent as always, I think that it's my own personal insecurity.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that that's because I'm very comfortable with what I do and giving it, because most of the time, if I'm being honest, I don't even really think about it. It just comes.
Mm-hmm.
But when you bring that part in it, like a marital thing, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
I'm hesitant. Yeah. I pause and I was trying, you know, go through it and think I'm not as spirit led. That's when my flesh comes in, because it's in my ear like, how you gonna give advice on something you don't even know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just, if I'm giving spirit led guidance, spirit is in my ear. Mm-hmm. Telling me, placing it on my heart what to say. So I really definitely think that it's when my own insecurities creep in.
I got you. But that makes
because
sense.
When you think about it, the people that I've been involved with my entire life, that just from general conversations, like I've said things like you said without experiencing it. That's just like, yeah.
But at the same time, you said things without experience. But my experience with you on that has been where I talk about I would like a leader or a person who's gonna guide me, and I know they're not perfect, but they're gonna give me clear guidance. You have been non-biased in your guidance or suggestions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's very non-biased. So let's say for it.
And that's probably another thing too that was hesitant, because in that particular setting, we didn't deep dive into both sides of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So that makes a
And maybe
difference
because
too.
you knew both me and the other person, it was easier to say, you know what, you know.
Because I'm a firm believer we have to take accountability for our own actions. We can't always point the
And
finger.
that's why I have not issue, but like the issues I have with leadership or in the church, because the accountability factor, I think, is when you do wrong or you do something wrong. I believe that people are very, not only God will forgive, I think people are forgiving, especially if you're transparent. We've seen a lot of people that have children outside of the marriage and they stay together and they try to keep that child a secret.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually teach people how to keep your family together, and I made this mistake, my wife or my husband forgave me, and this is how we did it. You helping somebody else instead of trying to keep it a secret. And so if you're a person that drink, and it's like, well, we've always been told it's a sin to drink. When I was growing up, he a drinker. Well, if you a drunk, that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. But if I I was recently out and I saw a table of pastors that I knew, like in the city, big churches, um, having some social drinks. They were not getting drunk. They're not people that I know personally, but I sat there and I looked and I just was like, first I went into judgment. Honestly, I went into like, look at them, look at them over here having their drinks. Then I was like, well, they're not getting drunk. So, Keisha, check yourself. But what was wrong in the situation was they were with women that were not their wives. That's where the wrong was. You were with women and flirting with women and doing that were not. So, not that you were getting drunk, but your drinks and your company is what was wrong. And I was like, and the drinking, drinking make you want to do, because I want to drink with my spouse. I want to have a glass of wine with my husband and let us enjoy this. Not, I'm about to go meet my homeboy and, I don't know. So when I saw them, my first thought was like, look at these, and then immediately I had to check myself. And I was like, wait a minute, because Keisha, not that I ain't had one in a long time, but I was like, if you want to have a glass of wine or something, you absolutely would. But what are you getting upset about? What's riling you up right here? I think it was triggering me with the women, not the drinks. So I want transparency with my guidance. Like you see it, go here, and you say, I tell all my business. I tell everybody everything. And I feel like everybody know I'm depressed and I'm just in a sunken place. Oh my God. Oh my. But I believe that everybody who is your friend, including me, when we've talked or shared something, you remove that feeling of depression or whatever it is that you have, and you're able to give
Oh
a,
yeah, I'm definitely
yeah,
able to. It's almost like out of body disconnect on how
yeah,
quickly
yeah.
that happens. Whereas I totally remove and it's my own
and and
everything.
I don't put you on a pedestal like you're supposed to be a spiritual counselor. You're not supposed to, girl. No, I don't do that. I don't believe that we should do that. I do want good character, which is what you have. An honorable person that is going to, you know, be of good character and not, you ain't gossipy. I know men and women that's leaders, that's gossipy. You're not, you're not gonna be dishonest, or you're gonna tell the truth. You ain't trying to steal.
Mm-mm.
So that's my thing. So, you know, balance in this material world is hard. It's hard. It's hard when you really trying to live right.
Yeah, and I think that leadership thing. Now I think about that. Too much is given, much is required, because they can't meet everybody's standards either.
Everybody got different standards.
Because everybody, like you said, this person, like the drinking period bothers them, but for you, it's not.
It's not
the drinking. You know, so
it's the character and the integrity of
the individual.
And I don't think having a drink makes your character bad.
I don't think so either. I recently had one just a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
Yes. When I went out to dinner in celebration of my birthday, I had a drink.
Yeah. And see, I think it's the character of the integrity.
But what I also noticed is I'm not really inclined to drink like how I used to be.
Yeah.
Where as soon as I might have went out, it'd be like, well, what you drinking?
Yes, absolutely. I haven't had one in a long time. I haven't had one in a long time. And it was the first thing. If they come to the table like, what would you like to drink? Lemon drop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, but now I don't, because I wanted that feeling. I wanted that, you know, it's calm me down, relax. I wanted that. Now I don't so much need it for that anymore. Now if I do get one, because who's to say I'm not going to get one, it won't be like, oh, I got to have it, you know. So, but the character and integrity of the heart is what matters to me the most. Like, I want you to have balance. I think balance is brings about transparency for others to be helped.
I agree.
It does. It does. And I believe eventually you're going to be able, because I try to maintain a good balance, if that makes sense. A good balance where you still letting your light shine, but you still know how to, you know, enjoy life a little more
and I don't think my balance comes from that. My balance just comes from, I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm schizophrenic, but it comes from all of the channeling.
Yeah.
That's the thing where it's just like, okay, can we turn it off, please?
That's because that's what you enjoy as well, though.
But it sometimes it's a hindrance because I work a job.
Oh yeah,
it interferes. Yeah. I hate to use the word interferes because, you know, I don't want to be like ungrateful for the gift. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's just not at the best time where it's just like, how do we get to whereas I'm not getting this message during the work hours? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or I just want to unwind. Like I don't understand like the people who channel and get stuff like this. Like I don't understand when it stops.
When they shut it off.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is well, not main thing. I think one of the things is I guess the same thing we're talking about is balancing that. Like not letting it take over in that moment.
Yeah, but it's almost like an outside source. I guess because I'm like, I don't know how to explain it when I was sounding like a crazy lady.
They were like, what? They probably already like, what are they talking about?
We talk table this for later.
Because we talking about something. They like, what?
Yeah.
No, but you know what? Speaking of balance and stuff, I seen an interview. Have you been on TikTok? I figured you had. Tracee Ellis Ross did a interview on a podcast with Michelle Obama and her brother. They got a new podcast, and Tracee Ellis is 52 years old, and she's never been married and don't have any children. And she was talking about, and this goes kind of back to the beginning. I can't remember what we were saying. They asked her something about how does she deal with that, and she talks about having grief for not having children or not being married, but it's different. It's not a like a sad grief. It's just sometimes she wish she had it, but she was like she's at a point now where she's completely whole and she doesn't she won't accept the character of somebody who doesn't matches hers.
Period.
And I was like, wow. She was like, before, it could be a little something that, be like, oh, it's not a big deal. But now because she's completely whole, you know, it doesn't, she won't even give in a little bit to accepting. And I was like, I love that because I believe that's where I am, if not where I'm going, because I feel completely whole for the first time in my life. I don't miss nothing. Like, I don't have a desire or need for, and probably because I had it before, that I need somebody to make me whole. I need something to make me whole because I'm just getting it like from God.
I definitely don't feel whole, but I don't think it's from like a marriage or anything like that. Like, I don't think like if dating would change that. Like, I know where mine comes from. But the dating thing, like we always say, how I go back and forth from that, but that's not something I've ever felt like I've grieved. How she said that, I don't think that's ever been something where I've been like, oh, I'm sorry for myself that hasn't happened for me. I mean, because I go up and down every day on if I want it or if I don't want it. And then the other part about it too, if I'm being honest, I feel like my requirements are so, this is what it is, and I'm not bending, that it probably leads me to believe that that's something that I can't even have because my requirements are core. They are core because if you ain't got no money.
Girl, I was listening to this guy. Speaking of that, I was listening to a guy say something. He's married and he was like, men want you to kind of be on the struggle bus. That way they don't have to, that way their little effort seems like something big. And if you're a woman that look like you got it together, like, you know how your closet is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We know how our house is. If you're somebody like that and they feel like you're probably a little out of their league, they'll either continue to date you and try and bring you down.
Which I've experienced.
And I have too. Make you feel like whatever because they not up here where you at, or they're not going to, they'll say, they'll make comments like, oh, big money or whatever. But if they see you in, like when women be saying, I get more action when I got my sweats and stuff on.
Of course you do.
It's because you look like
you got a dusty magnet.
You a dust magnet. Yes. You are a dust magnet. Like, if you well put together, most of the time when I've been like, always well put together, but like really, really spruced up is no attention because unless it's somebody who feel like, oh, I'm on that level. I can get that with her.
I say this all the time. I rarely get approached, but I definitely get more approached when I'm like I am now. Absolutely not spruced up and in my
wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I can count the times that I felt like I looked put together where a man has talked to me. But again, men do not approach me. They just don't. It's very rare. Very rare. I think probably the last time that I've gotten approached, oh my goodness, it's probably been about 5 years.
You're not a dust magnet.
It's probably been like I might have gotten some looks, because I think when we was in Chicago, it was just like I get the looks, but to actually make the go
connection,
in,
like the connection,
yeah,
How you feel about that? It don't matter one way or the other.
It doesn't, honestly.
It's so funny because you, and I've said this to you before, you don't mind speaking to somebody first. You'll be like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
but not, I don't know if you'll do it now, but
I will.
Oh God. It didn't matter to you that they did not approach you.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
No, it that has never bothered me at all. But do I want to be the one to approach like my person for real?
No,
No.
yeah.
No. But because I have a flirtatious nature.
But I wonder if you also, like I'm saying, how we know the cars you've driven, we know all of that, you know, at first look, it's like, that's too much. I can't handle that money. Let me not go that route. You know what I'm saying? Whereas on the other hand, the people that you have been involved with, I'm sorry, y'all, you know, have been the ones to try to knock you off that pedestal to make you feel,
Yeah.
you know, girl, I don't care what you got. You this. Get down here and serve me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and knowledge too, because we smart and intelligent women, and it's intimidating to some that can't hold a, you know. I'm not saying that people haven't been smart, but you know, when it comes to that, we did let them take us down a couple of notches until they'd be like, okay, I'm just tired and I'm not about to do with you no more. But as far as the approach, the ones that probably looked like they could afford you, you wasn't around them.
Yeah.
Because you was like, that's where you get material.
Very.
Why is that? I needed to be more like that. I wasn't material enough when it came to money and men. I absolutely was not.
I think that I was, and then I wasn't. And now, you know, and this is going like, I'm going to say this out loud because I just even be asking myself, like, if I had to put on my list, which is coming first, God or money?
You gonna ask them that?
No, like when I make my list, like, you
Oh,
know how I have my list, that is how close.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that they hand in hand. That's how close
like
that is.
almost the same.
Like almost the same. And that is, judge me how you want.
I think I'm judging friend because I don't know how you go. I get it though. I get it because it's of how like, you taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I want to live the softest life as possible. Let me tell you, the other day, I told my friend, I said, I want to be an adult baby. I don't want to be like, you know, grown and something's wrong with me and I need somebody to help me to take care of myself. I said, but I do want to be like a baby where all my needs are met. If I just, what you need? What you want?
And see,
you want some food?
Yeah.
Like, I want to live a life of being catered to. Period. So if this other person that's coming into my life cannot offer me that, I'm okay. Because I'm just going to keep living my life by myself and catering to myself.
Yeah.
Because I've gone 5 years without doing the do. I promise you I can go 60 more. You
like, I don't even miss this. I
don't even miss it. And I've never even taken care of myself on my own. So I don't even know what that's like. So I can tell you right now, I'm okay. Okay? You know what's gonna make me happy is that money. Okay? They're telling me that the chef is in the kitchen.
That's so
chopping up them strawberries that you want, that you too lazy to cut yourself.
That is the moment you get material. That's where the balance come in with you. Because right now you ain't thinking nothing about no spirit. No. You like, he better have some money.
And not no little money, okay? Not no $100,000 money.
It got to be more than that.
Got to be more than
that.
that.
Really
that
ain't no money. Yeah, that's not no money.
We grew up thinking that was money, but that ain't no money.
That
like
ain't no
you made
money.
6 figures. Okay.
Yeah. That's so funny to me because you literally go straight out of character when you talking about that. Like,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to be talking about that more often to bring me some balance in my life. Is that the key? Is that the key? Because other than that, I feel like,
and this what's crazy is they'll be like, that's gold digger. No, because what you got to realize is what you're going to get in return for catering to a good woman like that is the way she going to nurture and cater back to you. My life is a life of ease now. So, but I also take care of a lot. But I don't have to run myself in the ground. At least I don't feel like I do to do that, which is what I be praying for. Like, if somebody don't come in my life and help me maintain this peace that I got right now, I want you to have money too. Don't get me wrong. But I think because you've been doing it so long by yourself, it's like, listen, I've been doing it way longer. I wasn't always doing it by myself.
Yeah, I've never not done it by myself. Yeah. When I've left home, I don't know what it's like to do a 50-50, a 80-20.
And the 50-50 to me, I've done that, and I just think it's terrible.
Like, I don't know what any of that is like. So I want to, and I feel not that my life is hard, but I feel like I have to do things that I don't enjoy or want to do to make a living to survive.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily want that for me anymore. And I feel like that's a lot of my struggles because I am grateful. Don't get me wrong. But I also know that if there were certain things that I didn't feel that I had to do, I would be a lot more at peace. And I would probably then have balance because I would be doing the things that I desire and enjoy. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Americans that can relate to this, where we're in the hustle and bustle of survival. Like, it's a blessing to be able to do the things that you enjoy doing. And that's not my life.
And see, that is my life, which is so, we've got opposites of everything. Everything that I do, I enjoy. I literally don't do anything that is like, oh my God, I gotta go do this. I do everything I enjoy. Like, that's really where God really done blessed me. And when I be praying, give me my daily bread, he does that, and sometimes way more with things that I enjoy. So I guess when it comes to talking about men and money, I still want to do what I enjoy, but I still want to be catered to like that. Because I've never been catered to the way we talk about. Never. I've always been a 50-50 girl. I ain't doing it no more. I'm never doing it again. I'll continue to do by myself, rather than that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. But I'm grateful that because maybe he got me on the journey to being by myself, that I'm doing something I enjoy. I don't know, but you're doing what you're doing because you're good at it too.
No, that's not why.
Well, you are good, not just for that reason, but you're really, really good at what you. For years, you found a career. I don't know if you found or if it was led to it, but you've been doing this for some years, and you're really, really good at it. You don't think that's
not why I do it though. I do it because it pays the bills. If I could turn today and never do it again, oh my God, I would. I do it literally because I need to survive. And it was just a blessing how, my career path went. It wasn't like I looked for it. It was kind of like, I am a perfectionist. And if I'm going to toot my horn, this is when I'm going to toot it. I'm good at everything that I do because I strive to be the best, period. So when I got this little opportunity, I was just like, I knew I didn't come with a bunch of degrees and all of this. So when that little opportunity came, I put my all into it. So I grew into this job because this is the job that wants you to have the degree and all of that. But because my work ethics, now I'm, the amount of years of experience I have trumps that. But that was what happened because I was just like,
you was a you was doing that work.
Yeah, I was a workaholic. And then I was just like, I have to excel because I need to make money. I have a son I got to take care of. So it was like, I felt like I had no choice. But when people say that they have no choice, saying no choice is a choice. We have a choice with every situation in our life. So I chose to stay on this path and to keep going that route because it makes a generous salary. So I never want to come off ungrateful, but my heart is no longer in it because I'm no longer that version of me.
And I guess I said what I said because I've known you since you first started doing it.
And just think of the person who's sitting next to you today versus that girl who was hustle bustle. That's what I did. I remember like having on my computer, money is the motivation. And I remember working 80 hours in 1 week to get that overtime money. Whereas now I don't want to work 1 minute over. I set a timer every day.
Do you?
My timer's on pause right now. When I go back to work, I will unpause it. And when time is up, click, click.
You stop right on time.
I'm done.
You don't accept the overtime and stuff like no more like that?
Very seldomly. It just depends. But I'm no longer driven by the money. But I'm also at a point in my life too, whereas now my son is older, so I don't have as much pressure of
taking care of him
with all of those things. With the teenagers and
absolutely
when they active in all of that stuff and just making sure that he lives a certain lifestyle. Now I'm trying to just come into my own. And I don't want that hustle and bustle. And like some people like the titles. I was getting emails all the time like they have this opportunity. I don't need to be AVP. I can be Takesha Peon. I'm okay. I am okay.
You like, I'm good, not getting no promotions or compliments.
Yes, like I struggle when it be like, well, what are your goals? Girl, just to come here and get through this tomorrow. That's my goal, to make it through. Okay. My goal is for that man to ring the doorbell and he'd be like, go ahead and quit and music bike, say less, slam that laptop shut and shit, send it back to y'all. That's my goal. To sit in the grass every day. That's my goal.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I'm not that person that I was. So it's harder for me now. And then I feel ungrateful because I know that there's people, like I know somebody personally who would be like, oh my God, if I could just take that job from you because you don't even appreciate it. But it's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm definitely grateful because I know that I need it. It sustains my life. It's just that I know that my heart is no longer in it. I feel like I'm the dark and I want to give the light to everybody. So I want to spend my time in doing love and light stuff. I do.
Bringing peace to people. Helping them with,
that's what I want to do.
And maybe that's why I enjoy what I do, because I think that happens with my work. My work is ministry.
And your work, even outside of that part, it's your gift. So you know what I'm saying? Like you're truly blessed to be able to do that. That what I do is not my gift, okay? It's not.
It ain't your gift, but you from the start, it just, I mean, it showed how gifted you were and like just perfect. I don't know if being a perfectionist is a good thing or a bad. Or
being a perfectionist, I feel like it's a gift and a curse because a perfectionist wants to be good at everything that they do. And then when they're not good at something, they beat themselves up about it. So think about this even from a personal thing. There are certain things in my life that I can't control that I need to let go of and can accept it on why I feel like I'm not whole. But because I'm a perfectionist, I can't let it go. I keep reliving moments when it's just like the past is the past. All you have is right now, this present moment. What are you going to do today?
That's it. That's it.
But as the perfectionist,
I don't think I've ever been a perfectionist on I probably been a free spirit when it came to work. Even my jobs that I had outside of my gift, I gave them just enough. Y'all not about to, and I probably get. That's probably why I didn't keep the jobs because I'm not. I did a good job, but I'm not a. I'm not going to. I never was going to go above and beyond for anybody or myself in these jobs because you probably in the last couple of years just now realizing what you wanted to do. I kind of always knew I'm not meant to be here.
I think I always knew.
Okay.
But even to this day, I still feel like even though this is what I always knew, always desired, I don't feel that it's out there for me. I feel like that 9 to 5 is what sustains me and it's what I'm supposed to do. And that's my life. And that's where I struggle and clash within myself.
Yeah, that's a clash because what you do, it's funny because when I started doing my thing 25 years ago, it wasn't popular. It wasn't a money making business. It was just a side hustle for whoever did it. And I didn't know a lot of people unless you were a celebrity that did it. But what you do and what I do now are very lucrative, businesses, once you take it, get busy doing it. So I believe that you're going to be able to move away from this thing you don't want to do anymore. I'm believing that for you. I'm believing it.
Thanks, girl.
I'm believing it. I am because,
And it's hard because like I said, when you're dealing with struggling with mental health and then adding that on, it makes it's another layer of a factor that you have to push through. And I hate using push because I'm tired of
pushing. Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I have to push and work through because I mean last week and this week I'm going through it. And I'm tired. Okay, we coming on the close.
As your last words is I'm tired. At the beginning, you started with saying, I tell too much.
Yeah, like I do.
Hey, we flowing in our conversations. And I am absolutely sure that it's somebody, especially a woman out there, that's feeling the same way. That's tired. That's like, oh my God, it gotta be something else for me, rather than just this normal everyday routine.
Robotic lifestyle. Because I'll be like, yep, it's a robot.
Yeah. It gotta be somebody else out there. And if you're a person that's out there that feel like this, please tell us in the comments, if you are moving away from that, what are you doing to move away and do what it is you want to do in life? And if it's something you struggling with, hey, let us know that too, because we want to support everybody. Kolorflow Conversations is our little community.
Yes, it is.
It really is our little community. So, hey, I enjoyed our conversation, friend. I say it all the time. And don't feel like you overshare.
I mean, I do, but it's fine. I almost feel like that's a part of who I
Hey,
am
y'all,
in general.
encourage my friend in the comments and let her know that she don't overshare, and let her know how she has helped you in her sharing. Okay, we want y'all to do that. So thank you for watching. We want y'all to like, listen, subscribe. We thank everybody who's been following us and watching. Last week we had our sisters on, and that was just amazing because both of us only got sisters, no brothers. So just to sit down and talk to them.
I actually have a brother.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I forgot.
But by my mother, just my sister.
Yes, her
See?
sister.
Oversharing. Let's wrap it up because not everybody gonna be like, you have a brother.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's my fault for saying that, and I knew it, and I forgot. See, I'm sorry.
But I could have waited till after camera. I just talked too much. Peace, y'all.
Oh, peace. We'll see y'all next week.